Guys, Aemeath is finally here, and I know this video comes a week late, but I wanted to wait until the calculations of how good she is came out, and oh my gosh, she is broken. Let's get right into it. So let's just give a brief introduction on what I think about Aemeath, and I'm gonna say straight up, she is completely broken on her best team. She currently has the highest DPS in the game on her best team, and I'll go a bit into that a little later. But she is quite fun to play, and if you learn how to do her combos, it's not that difficult. So let's actually start with her best team, shall we? So here is a small guide, Canon, one of the best theory crafters in the community, and here you can see a bit of an overview of the character, including her best teams. So these are by far her best teams, which is Aemeath, Linnea, and Mornia, Aemeath, Lupa, and Mornia, and Aemeath, Linnea, and Lupa. To these teams, we can also add the team of Aemeath, Linnea, and Chisa, which is also really strong, but doesn't achieve these levels of power. So as I was telling you guys, this is a ranking of teams of how much DPS they make, depending on the cost. And thanks to Okram, by the way, who is the best recrafter in my opinion in the world. And as you can see here, Aemeath, Linnea, and Mornia has by far the highest DPS in the game. We're talking about more than 100k for her best team, and if you play her perfectly well, it's over 1k DPS. That's much higher than the second team, which is the Galbrena Lupa Brand team on Quickswap, or the Zani team at S0 R1 for the teams. Not only that, but the team itself is pretty low investment. So you want to take a screenshot of these tables. It's one of the best sources you're gonna find about how good the teams are based on their costs. So we have just seen that she is incredibly good if you put Linnea and Mornia on her team. But what if I don't have these two characters? Don't panic yet. By far, the most important piece is Linnea. Linnea gives Aemeath everything that she wants, and Mornia is a perfect complement for this. However, it is not necessary. I would tell you that if you're missing one piece, it is more important to keep Linnea than Mornia. Mornia can be substituted by other pieces. However, missing Linnea, the only team that I would recommend you right now is Aemeath, Mornia, and Lupa. How about her weapons? Is really her weapon that important? Well, it is less important than in other DPSs. Actually, the damage increase of this weapon is around a 15 to 20% depending on the team, which is not a lot if you compare it to the Zani weapon or the Frolba weapon. However, we're talking about a 12% out of 100k. So in the end, the amount of damage that it increases is similar. This being said, Aemeath has such a high DPS, she does not need her weapon to clear the content. So if you like her weapon, it's a good investment, but if not, it's preferable to go for her teammates, that is Mornia and Linnea, than to go for her weapon. If you don't have her weapon, the easy choice is the standard banner weapon, and I'm talking about the first one, not the new one. If you don't have her weapon, go for this one. About the Ecos, I don't need to tell you anything, guys. You know that this set is her set. You will almost always want to go for crit damage, whether you're using her weapon or the standard banner weapon. And for the cost 3, you should go for 1 fusion and 1 attack percentage. I have 2 fusions because the difference is not that much. However, that is the optimal thing. And of course, cost 1 of attack, and you're gonna be looking for mostly crit rate and crit damage. About the energy recharge, you will need around 120 to be comfortable, so that's what you should be aiming for. Besides that, attack percentage is the most important thing, and after that, resonance liberation damage. And oh boy, we're getting now into a controversial topic. The dupes. Are her dupes worth it? Sorry to tell you, but her first 2 dupes are quite whatsoever. They're not that great, especially the first dupe. The first dupe is only a 5 to 7% increase on her damage, so don't even bother, go for it. The second dupe, it's okay actually, it increases her damage about a 17%, but these 2 dupes together increase about a 21 to 25% depending on the team damage, which is usually what a good dupe does by itself. These 2 dupes are free if you buy them in the store, and they are not very useful. However, her third dupe is really strong. This is actually a dupe that's worth going for if you really like Aemeath. So my recommendation here would be stay at S0 or go for S3 directly, because the first 2 dupes are not worth it at all. And trust me guys, I am the first one that's heard about it because I have a lot of this saved to exchange for dupes. It's more worth it to go for dupes like Carithia, like Frolba, even Zani or Augusta are more worth it than her. So one last thing that I wanted to mention. Sadra, you sure that Linnea is that important? Well, yes, and I am not sure. And why am I saying this? Aemeath has 2 modes. A DPS mode that is based on liberation damage, and a DOT mode The DOT mode still does not have a slot number 2 that is good. We do have a slot number 3, however, which is Shisa. So, if I were you, I would wait for the next version to see if a character that could be a good slot number 2 that applies the fusion burst and can help Aemeath become a good DPS in this mode to be released. And if that character does not release, then don't doubt about it, pull for Linnae. And after that, pull for Mornia, because those two together with Aemeath are absolutely broken. So let me guys know what do you think about Aemeath, if you have been playing with her, testing her, if you really feel like she is that strong, and overall, what do you think about the video? I'm excited to check your comments and to know what the community thinks about it. So thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.